Hi everyone, we're out in the camper today. Told Mark if we were going out, we're going out in the camper and not in the little car because it's too difficult to make a cuppa and it's not comfortable to sit in. Hoping we might spot some dolphins today. It's a nice day outside and we've got two new baby dolphins. They're only about 2 or 3 days old. The last time Prince was seen was on the 18th and she was still pregnant. So the two babies are only about 2 or 3 days old. So we're hoping to get a glimpse of them if they're down this far. Which brings me on to something else. South of us, down at Dawesville, it's about 15-20 k down the road. They've set up these blue bins. They just hang there, and it's for people that, for fishermen, to put their old fishing lines and sinkers and bait wrappers in, so they don't float into the waterways. And the other day they emptied them, and there was 200 metres of fishing line in the bin that came out from one of the bins. So I'd say it's a trial because we don't have them in our area yet, but it'll be good to see because the amount of stuff that's left with a bit of wind ends up in the waterways, and it's no good for any of the wildlife in the water. A lot of the turtles too get wrapped up in bags and fishing line. One of our pelicans last summer had fishing line wrapped around him. We had to call someone to try and find him so that they could take the fishing line off him. Eventually they did find him and managed to get it off him, so it wasn't around him too tight, which is a good thing. It's one of our local ones that we see all the time down here. So that's good to know that people are using these bins and putting their lines that break or whatever, they're putting them using the bin, so nothing's getting into the waterways down there, which is a good thing to see. Also, last Thursday I think it was, a little bit upstream, because we had low tides last week, we had one of our sub-adults stranded. He was still in water, but the trouble is because the tide was low, he couldn't get out of where he was, he was surrounded by sandbars. And now, if I've done this correctly, there should be a little clip inside this video showing them the volunteer rescuers with the sling carrying him out of the sandbar so that he could be released. Now we've got a lot of people, and I mean they've got signs up as well now saying who to ring if you see a stranded dolphin, who to ring, and they're all over the place upriver because that's where most of our strandings happen. And it's not very good to see what happens, like, because they do get sunburnt if they're not in enough water, and we've recently had one of those, and she's healing quite well, although she is going to have a big white scar on her back, which is not very good, but she's coming along really nice, and her wounds are healing pretty good as well from what I've read. So with that, it's just good to see people are ringing the right people and getting to the dolphins as quickly as possible. We've got a lot of volunteers down here that do that. Keeping them wet until they can release them to where they're in the deeper waters. Some people don't know, but wet towels and stuff on them, just splashing them with water and making sure that no water goes down their blowhole is really important, because the more water they've got, or the sooner you can get to the dolphin and start wetting them down and covering them if they're exposed to the sun, is very important. because some of their wounds from being stranded are quite severe. But on that note, I'm going to leave it there for now, and if we can spot Prince and Blowy with the babies, I will bring you back. So until then, and if we see anything else, I'll certainly bring you back, that's for sure. So I'll just leave it here for now and see what happens. Well, we know there's food around because there's a shag. It's got a fish. And the seagull never got it. Just see if he pops back up again. Nope, he saved his fish. There is a couple of dolphins, but they're just too far out to even get any footage off, so there's definitely feed in here. Just a matter of time.
And there you go.
Okay everyone, we're home now, so I'll end my video now. Unfortunately there weren't a lot of dolphins around today. We did see a couple, so hopefully the footage has worked out and I will chuck it in at the end of this video. Very windy, so hard to sort of stay outside, but you get that, I suppose. But yeah, never mind, next time hopefully there will be footage of the new dolphins, the babies. Didn't see them today, so excuse me. Hopefully next time we will see them. So I'll end my video now. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Feel free to put in a comment if you wish. And please stay safe, and I will see you next time in my next video. So bye for now and take care.